Hey everybody, Jeremy Christensen here. I am excited to provide some really great career advice, something that's helped me significantly throughout my career. And if you want to accelerate your career like never before, this is absolutely something you need to implement today, right now. What I'm talking about, and to tee it up, is are you somebody that sees problems, or are you someone that actually sees solutions and opportunities? And let me tell you what I mean by that. I'm sure you've seen this a million times where you walk into a meeting and somebody on the team pops in and just spews out and throws up all sorts of problems all over the table. And they just throw it up, they put it out there, and then they just walk away. The biggest thing that frustrates leaders like no end is an employee that's going to come in and just throw up a bunch of problems. Leaders deal with problems all day long, every day. And this is just another problem that they're having to deal with. Maybe it's one thing, two things, 10 things. Who knows what that might be. So you've got to be the person that if you've got a problem, you're bringing a problem to the table, you need to also have a solution to that. So let me give you a tactical example of something that's happened to me. So when I first started at Pluralsight, one of the things I wanted to do was just try to understand what are the biggest problems that exist so that I can figure out how to help my leader be more successful and figure out what we needed to do. So I went to her and said, hey, Anita, what is the biggest challenge that you guys are struggling with right now, and how can I help solve it? And she said, Jeremy, like the biggest challenge that we're dealing with right now is we just are struggling with our hiring plan and keeping straight of, how many quota-bearing sales reps that we have, and can you help us figure that out? We just haven't been able to do it. I said, sure, absolutely. So what I did was kind of took a step back and said, like, who are all the different key stakeholders that need to be a part of this? Obviously, talent acquisition, HR business partners, the finance team, like those are the main people that needed to be involved. So I pulled them all together into a room, and we just kind of talked about it and tried to understand, like, okay, well, what have we been doing in the past? What works? What doesn't work? And then a lot of times people get stuck on the tools that they're using and that they need to be successful. So in talent acquisition, it might be, like my ATS or my HCM platform. Like, yeah, we've got to use this. But what I did is asked the finance team, like, hey, what do you guys use? What do you guys use to keep track of all your data? And they said, well, we use Anaplan. And Anaplan is just like a spreadsheet on steroids, basically. There's a lot of functionality that you can do with Anaplan. And I said, well, hey, show it to me. Let me understand kind of how you use it. So they showed me, and I said, well, why don't we just use Anaplan to create our hiring plan? And they're like, we can do that? I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we pulled this working group together, talked about all the different inputs we needed and how we needed it to function, and pulled in an analyst that could, adjust Anaplan as we needed it. And we were able to create a really robust hiring plan, something better than I've ever seen at any of the companies that I've worked for. And it was great because talent acquisition was able to put the inputs that they needed or see the data that they needed. Same with HR business partners and same with finance. So it gave you the ability to not only see, okay, what roles are existing in the hiring plan for the future that have not been approved, which roles need to be approved, which roles have been approved, which ones are we actively recruiting on, and which ones have we closed. It made it super easy for everybody to have what they needed in one place, and we were able to build that relatively quickly. And then ultimately we continued to refine it and make it better over time. Eventually we connected it to the ATS, and so that things would feed into the ATS and we'd have better data that way. And we completely solved our hiring plan problem. But my biggest advice is you got to go out and be a problem solver, and you got to find solutions. If you're that person that always comes into the room and throws up problems onto the table and doesn't do anything about it, you are going to be stagnant in your career and not be successful. And the ones that can get in and solve problems, you're going to be eminently successful. So take this advice and utilize it today, and do something different. Make an active mindset shift into who you want to be in the future, and know that you want to be a solution creator, not a problem finder. Good luck.